I would love somebody to cook for me, baby. I don't like cooking. I need a gangster. And I start losing hope, genuinely. Hi guys, I'm back. I look like a snack. I am back, guys. Last month, I'm sorry I did not talk to y'all that much, but I am back this month. I have a lot of content prepared for you guys. Today's video, I decided to go over my favorite books of 2026 so far. I have a good amount of favorite books so far this year. Obviously, not every book is my favorite. The books that I have chosen are books that have honestly stood out to me, and they're also books that I cannot stop thinking about. So in total, I chose 8 books. I have 4 physical books and then 4 that I've read on Kindle Unlimited. The first book that I want to talk about is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This is actually one of the first books I read in the beginning of this year because it was my book club pick. Now that book club no longer exists, but when it did, this was one of our reads. So The 7-Year Slip is about a woman who inherits her aunt's magical home. When she steps in this house, she finds out. What type of accent did I just have? She quickly finds out that this house actually exists 7 years in the past. So every time she walks in there, she's 7 years in the past. And one day she's going home and a mysterious man is in her room. This is a contemporary romance book with magical realism. And when I tell you that it was just like the perfect amount of everything, the romance in this book was so beautiful, even to the point, y'all, at the end of this book, I was crying. The 2 main characters are Clementine and Iwan. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's Ewan or Iwan. Iwan was actually a chef, so throughout this book there were recipes and foods that were talked about, and I was honestly getting hungry. It's not a spoiler, but there's this one scene where they go to this taco truck and it was just, oh, the food sounded so good. The topic of grief was talked about often because throughout the book Clementine is still going through the loss of her aunt and dealing with that. So I really felt for Clementine. Even though I really couldn't relate to her, I still connected to her character because I saw her character development throughout the whole entire book. Anyways, guys, the book was so good. The romance was beautiful. I cried at the end, and when I finished reading, I was like, maybe I need to find a chef. I would love somebody to cook for me, baby. I don't like cooking. The next book is Every Spiral of Fate by Taheda Mafi. This series is like maybe one of my god tier series, and the series is not even done yet. I need Taheda Mafi. No shade, girl. I've been seeing all the Shatter Me stuff. Please get back to this Woven Kingdom. She pushed back the date already for the 5th book, and I am literally sick. Every Spiral of Fate is the 4th book in the This Woven Kingdom series. I'm not going to give you a synopsis of this book, but I'll give you a general synopsis of the series just because I don't really want to give spoilers. This Woven Kingdom series is about Eliza, who is a servant girl. She's very humble, very lay low, but she is secretly the long lost heir to a magical kingdom. So throughout the series, we're following her journey of pretty much being exposed. She's on the run. She meets new friends. There's almost a love triangle going on, but in reality, baby, you know who I'm rooting for. Cyrus of Nara, ultimate book boyfriend. Yearning in the series is crazy, but the yearning in this book had me. I was chewing on the bars of my enclosure. The way that Cyrus yearns for Eliza, y'all, they haven't even kissed yet. We're in book 4, baby. They haven't even kissed yet. Let me read you a quote. No man alive has ever loved a woman the way that I love you, and I would rather die, damned as I am, than disgrace us both with this pitiful, unrequited performance of my heart.
I can't. Get out.
I love this series because I love Taheda Mafi's writing. I feel every single emotion that these characters are feeling. There obviously are action points, but this story is very character driven. It's almost painful to read like how much Cyrus loves this girl. There's something that is stopping them from being together, so it's just like extra painful. I'm trying not to say too much without spoiling it. Anyways, read this series. I am to this day trying to find another series that will give me the high that this series has given me. Honestly. The next book is Depraved Devotion by Morgan Bridges. This is a dark romance book and is actually very dark, very crazy. Depraved Devotion is a dark romance book between a psychologist and a psychopath. When one of my friends was like, oh yeah, it gives like Harley Quinn and Joker vibes, Suicide Squad, Joker, and Harley Quinn popped in my head. This book is pretty much about a very dangerous attraction between 2 morally great characters. There is an obsession aspect, power dynamics going on here. It gets dark and deep and crazy and freaky. But Ghost, our MMC, is very scary. Like I said, he is a psychopath. He's very manipulative. Some points, it's like you kind of believe him, but in the back of your head, it's like, girl, I don't believe him. Like, I'm still scared of you. But then sometimes he has you kicking your feet, and he has this charisma where it's like, whoa, like, what's going on here? Ghost is very obsessed with Geneva, which is a psychologist. Now, they are both morally great characters. At first, you're concerned for Geneva, but then you realize, girl, you a little crazy too. There's something in there. Guys, mind you, majority of the book, the man is in jail. The man is in jail. How is he communicating with her? How is he getting her head? Like, am I scared of ghosts? Yes. Do I trust him? No. Do I like him still? Yes. I don't know what that says about me, but we're not going to get into that, okay? The next book we have is Immortal Dark by Tigist Girma. Now, this is a YA dark academia book. This is about Kidan, or FMC. She was born into like this vampiric society, but she did not grow up with it. Very far from it, actually. One day, she is on the way home and she sees her sister get smashed up. Kadana is very crazy. She's like, I have nothing to lose. I have nothing to lose. I don't care if I die tomorrow, tonight. I just need to get my sister back. And to get her sister back, she decides that she is going to infiltrate Uxley University. I think that's how you say it, which is pretty much a vampire academy. Literally after every chapter of this book, I could not stop reading. I needed to know what happened next. Dawn is very, what's the word? Impulsive. Like, she will not think before she does something, so she be getting in crazy situations. And on the first day of her being at the academy, she runs into a anonymous vampire, which we later find out is Sueños. The romance and the tension is very good and there when you need it, but that's obviously not the whole plot point of this book. We are going through a lot of other crazy stuff. I still don't trust him, but I like him. And I feel like in the next book, when I read it, he will maybe redeem himself or make himself worse. I don't know. As you can see, I was annotating a lot throughout this book. I did not play. I feel like everybody in this book is morally gray. I don't know. I have more of a softer spot for Kadan, obviously, because we're following her and we get her POV, and just her internal monologue is so depressing. This is my first Tigger Skirma book, and I will say, great first impression. And I love the representation in this book. Everybody was black. The next book is Ride With Me by Simone Soltani. This is definitely going to be one of my top sports romances of this year. So this book is pretty much about an accidental marriage of convenience between an F1 driver, Thomas Maxwell Brown, don't forget his name, and a baddie bakery owner named Stella. Okay, now let me tell you something. This book shook something up for me. And I'm noticing that I might like sports romance more than I think I do, because a lot of my favorite books recently have been sports romances. I don't know what they're doing over there, but they need to keep on doing it. We have Stella, which she's well off. She got her own money. She's a businesswoman. She don't need nobody for real. She got out of this really bad relationship not too long ago, so that's kind of what's going on with her. Then one day when she's going to, I think, her cousin or somebody she knows wedding, she meets the F1 driver Thomas Maxwell Brown, but his career is not doing that great right now. He's kind of laying low. This is a green flag man. The banter was so good. Trust and believe, when Stella spoke, Thomas was listening. She didn't really have to say anything. He could just tell by her body language that, okay, maybe it's time for us to go, or I'm not going to touch on that topic because I know it's sensitive for her. I immersive read this book, so the book was like 10 times better because Thomas is British, y'all. And this is another book. I'm like, wait, maybe now I need to be interested in F1 drivers. I know there's a whole fan base for that, and maybe now I understand what the girls are talking about. If you know anything about F1 drivers, definitely let me know. Is there drama in there? In real life, I don't think I could ever date an athlete. They're very scary people, but in a book, I'm gonna eat it up every single time. Now, this book right here, this had me going through every single emotion you could think of. Red City by Mary Lou. Every time I look at my shelf and see this book, I just like, my heart does a little something. So Red City is a dark urban fantasy book. It's set in a futuristic type of world, but you could probably think of like modern day LA. And the city that we're in is called Angel City. And in this world, we have something called alchemy. I love how Mary Lou described the magic system in this book. We follow two main characters named Sam and Ari. Sam lives with a single mom. And then we have Ari, who doesn't live in the US when he's young. He pretty much gets taken away from his family because they said they see this aura about him. They just knew that he would be able to wield alchemy. They meet each other in school, they become best friends, a lot of things happen, and as they get older, they start distancing themselves because in some way both of them get involved in the world of alchemy, and they have no idea about each other's personal life really. They don't really get too much into that. As adults, they both end up working for rival syndicates. This book had me in my feels. The yearning in this book, they're so in love with each other. Just knowing that and seeing everything that they individually go through, it's so painful. God, she's so beautiful. And in this illuminated moment, he can hardly stand to look at her. Old wounds are reopened, emotions once put to bed are unearthed. Everything in him aches for her. She is all he wants. I don't know why I do this to myself, honestly, because the climate that we're in, the dating pool that is accessible to me, it's so sad. It's actually very spooky. I live in Florida. Like that's a whole nother thing in itself. And then I go ahead and read things like this, and I start losing hope genuinely. There's not only romantic love, but there's familial love, because we go through the relationship that Sam has with her mother, which is very complex. There's so many things to unpack in this book, and to me, it was so well done. This book gets its 10. Next book that we have is Falling With You by Eden Hunter. This book honestly threw me in for a loop. So this book is about Hazel, who is a artist. Her career hasn't really been going that great for a couple of years. She can't find a job, so she is on the market. And when she's online, she sees a nanny job for a prestigious family. And that is where Mr. Tristan comes in, because he is the father of the girl that she is going to be nannying. This is a nanny ex billionaire book. Yeah, he's a billionaire, baby. He got money. I love Hazel's character. She's so funny. A little weird, definitely on the quirky side. Honestly, just loved everything about her. I became immediately obsessed with Tristan Mariano. He fell hard for Hazel. Fine, he got money, he handles business, he's a wonderful dad. He also has a brother in this book that I'm hoping Miss Eden Hunter writes a book about him. Even down to Tristan's like right hand man, need that, want that. Nico, Hazel's better than me, boy. I'm also read you a quote of Tristan Mariano. I'll do whatever it takes to earn your trust back. Anything at all. Name it. Command me. When I read this, I thought about Haunted by Beyonce. I know if I'm haunted you, you must be haunted. I can't go another day without you by my side, Hazel Rivers. You're my sunrise every morning and my sunset every evening. I love you more than life. This only happens in books. At one point he donated like 1 or 2 million. I forgot what she had going on, but all I remember is that he did donate $1 or $2 million. I'm sorry, I had to say it again. These books are the reasons why I'm walking out here in this world with a stank face. You mean to tell me I'm reading about these type of fictional men, and then I live in Florida and I have to go around and hear people talk about where my hug at? Oh please, oh please. The last book that I have is Sparks Fly by Zakiya and Jamal. This book wasn't a long read, but I do find myself thinking about this book as well. As you can see, I annotated this book a lot. So this book is about Stella, who works for a digital media website company, but her romantic life is pretty much non-existent. She's a little older in age, still hasn't lost her V card. Her friend invites her to go to this club. She meets this mysterious man. Things don't happen at all. Like, it was kind of a fail. You know, there was a little tension there. There was a little connection there. Nothing ended up happening. And when she went into work the next day, guess who she saw? And that man ends up being Max, who is her CEO's brother. The concept might seem crazy and not wholesome, baby. This book was so cute. Like, this book was very topical as well, which I really enjoyed. Then she does work at this digital media company. There were talks of AI and how that could affect people's jobs. Also bisexual rep, because both of them are actually bisexual. Max was also biracial, so there was that aspect. And I really like how these topics were approached. Max was so sweet to Stella, and he was really understanding of her. He would be thinking about her when she was around, and he would get all giggly when he texted her. Max hadn't been this excited to call a woman since he was 16 years old, and Misty Crenshaw gave him her cell phone. Like, he was so giddy. Not only was this book so cute, I was actually laughing throughout this book. This was the first book I've ever read by Zakiya and Jamal, and I plan on reading her other books very soon. So that wraps up my favorite books of 2026 so far. Let me know if you have read any of these and if you loved it as much as I have. But that is all I have for you today, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! Be the Kingston. I got that song stuck in my head.